Well, this has been on my desktop for a while now. And I figured I should do a quick explore video for it. I was thinking about where I want to do, like, a series for this game, but... well, I've decided it's not really me, me who want to basically do a series for this, I think. We're just going to do a new game here. With Corvo. Alright, we'll keep on medium, because why not? Although there's, like, as you can see, like, a bunch of different scenarios and a custom one. Basically, like, you can, like, change around stuff as you want to. But we're just going to keep this on medium, I think. We'll skip to the tutorial. And cutscenes. So, I'm not planning to do a series for this game because... well, I didn't really like Dishonored 2 all that much compared to the first one. I found that, like, this one was basically lacking in atmosphere and environment and, like, all that sort of thing that, like, made Dishonored really good. One of the things I really liked about Dishonored is, like, the setting that it basically took place in, like, how they basically brought that to life. And, like, the enemies were memeable and stuff like that, but, I mean, it was still lovely, but here it's just, it was kind of bland, this game. We're just going to skip the intros. So, I'll note by the way in this game, you can basically play as either the ruler of the Empire, Emily Colwyn, or her father, Corvo Atano, the royal protector, who basically survived the rat plague. So let's play as Corvo Atano, I guess.
Cast you in cold marble. Corvo Atano, how handsome you are for a man of your age. And how long had you hidden the mark of the outsider? I expect it's a wonderful story.
I'll lock him in the Empress's chambers, and then I'll bring him to Coldridge Prison to tell his trial. My father lost it all. Sent me to the city watch.
Alright, let's skip this part here.
What happened? Alexei, the throne room, Emily. Nothing I can do alone. I need to get out of here.
Alright, so here we're basically at the start of the game.
How long's it going to take, Captain Ramsey?
These bastards are working with Ramsey and the Duke of Serkonos. The man's moving up in the world. He's old blood, one of the good families. And now that he's helped the rightful Empress take the throne, the Ramseys are going to be back in fashion in Dunwall. You'd be smart to remember that.
Alright, so I'll note that in this game, you're not starting a prison, but rather, like, in, like, the Empress's quarters. And basically the idea here is that, like, there's been a coup apparently in, like, the Empire. Your daughter was basically overthrown if you're playing as Corvo here. Much like before, if you want to basically read, like, the lettering and stuff like that, get, like, the lore and stuff like that. There's a little bit here to pick up, and read. I don't plan anyways to go through it because, I'm not really looking at that, but, whatever.
Dunwall always has a way of turning sour, just as soon as you get comfortable.
You can interact with your environment, of course. A fairly beautiful setting here, I guess. You can see, like, the people walking in the distance on the port.
Delilah took away the mark of the outsider. No more sorcery.
Note, by the way, in the first Dishonored, you basically had like the mark of an outsider, which basically grants you supernatural powers. Basically, this isn't taken away from you at the very beginning of the game, but you know, you can get back if you want to.
Lord Protector, I can't believe Ramsey's a traitor. Is Lady Emily
There's a coup
alright?
underway. Emily...
We'll skip that, but yeah, basically she dies. Now note that there's an important clue here next to her. Basically, there's someone called Megan Foster in like the in the port, and you're basically going to try and find her. The safe room is basically over here, by the way. This would be an objective to go to.
Need my ring to open the safe room. Ramsey has it.
And loot the covers her stuff. Same old gameplay, basically looting like the background for stuff. Pretty much walking all over the place. There's not a whole lot new basically here. Go in the bathroom, pick up some stuff. Doors open, of course, both ways, just as we did before. Now, I basically played this game already with Emily Cullen, and I basically went through with it on, like, you know, hard difficulty. I basically played a low chaos style, and I'll note by the way, it's a very difficult game to basically probably do, like, you know, non-lethal lies, because it's just, like, so difficult, I think, to, like, try and pull off that sort of gameplay in this one. Dishonored 2. It's a lot harder, basically, to play in this game, because there's a lot more enemies and stuff like that, but whatever.
As we both know, whoever's killing off my detractors is doing so for calculated effect, undermining me. The Crown Killer is being guided by someone. But who? Tomorrow's the anniversary of Mother's death. A sad day for us both. But I want you to remember all that's happened over the last 15 years. You've protected me, and taught me how to protect myself. You've helped me see what was right for the people of the Empire. We drained the flooded district, fought back the gangs, and yesterday we launched a beautiful ship in Mother's name. I'm trying to become the sovereign she wanted me to be. But Father, I wouldn't be here without you.
So yeah, she's doing the best she can, young Empress Emily Cullen.
I hate this wool. It itches like mad. Why can't I wear my regular clothes?
That becomes a meme, I guess, in this one, by the way. You'll hear it say that surfing over and over again.
Something's gotta give.
So I'll note that in this game you can, like, you know, pickpocket and stab people. Stabbing's very quick. Kills them off very quickly. You can do aerial assaults.
Disloyal dogs.
Now, of course, it's probably not in your interest to kill every single one in this game, but I mean... honestly, I don't really care at this point, so... I'll just go with, like, killing because it's a little bit quicker than, like, you know, choking them out. And throw stuff. That can be useful for making distractions to, like, you know, confuse your enemies.
The throne room blocked off. We should have the time we need. Just stay here and stall anyone who comes by. I'll be back when I've searched the royal chambers, assuming I don't accidentally lock myself in this damn safe room.
We'll cover for you if anyone from the Duke's party returns. This is exciting. Everything's changing.
Yes, the natural order is reasserting itself. The Ramseys once hosted the king and queen of Morley. Did you know that? I spent my childhood playing with the Buntings and the Boyles, the cream of society.
Then very soon you'll be back at the top, Captain.
See, I don't know if that is like your first target in this game, Mortimer Ramsey. He basically
Ramsey's
betrayed the
family
guard.
fell from the aristocracy, and apparently the man holds a grudge. How it's anyone else's fault, that's beyond me. But one way or another, Ramsey is too dangerous to be left in play.
So he's basically a target you have to deal with. Now, note by the way, like, you know, there is of course non-lethal abilities to, like, you know, deal with these guys.
What? Somebody's dead. Ah, you'll pay for that. Die, traitor.
There we go.
Nothing will stop me from bringing you home, Emily.
Now, unfortunately, he sort of like noticed me pickpocketing there, so we got into a fight. But you know, that's just par for the course in this game. You get into fights. I'll deal with him in a moment, but there we go. Gets you a little bit more health back. Let's go say, like, you know, a goodbye to, like, you know, the statue of our daughter.
That's Corvo Atana!
Here's how you do it, right? You, like, you know, stab the people who aren't aware of you and knock unconscious the people who are. Alright. I only knocked this guy out. There we go, fixed it. See, that was basically, you know, we're just saying, like, where we started.
Emily, I'll make this right. I promise.
Yeah, she's been turned to stone. And it buys everything around us.
Look at this place. Ramsey's men barred it so he'd have time to loot Emily's safe room.
Yeah, I'm not that, like, you know, that's part of the objective for Ramsey. He's basically trying to loot, you know,
Senseless killing.
loot the safe room of all, like, you know, its treasure and stuff.
Murdered for nothing more than their loyalty to Emily. Ruthless.
Alright, so note there's a non-lethal option in this game. Like, all, like, you know, the, targets. Don't think there's anything left behind, so... Oh, this is the room we were in when we started, so we basically start over in the corner over here.
Maybe I should just spin it. Pick a place to lick my wounds. I've got to regroup.
Alright, so over here is basically the safe room.
Anton Sokolov made this lock.
And I don't know if that, like, you know, a deck basically to, like, you know, neutralize this guy without killing him, basically to lock him in here for, like, you know...
Now you've got what you wanted, Ramsey. The Imperial Suite atop Dunwall Tower. Stay put until this is all set straight, Ramsey. Enjoy the rations and well water, sleeping next to a fortune.
So yeah, basically this guy's sleeping next to a fortune. I'll just show it off right now, I guess. So...
The reserves won't help against Delilah, even if I had a way to carry it all out of here.
Yes, Imperial Reserves of Gold. Can't do anything with them though. Where is this stuff?
Out into the world once more. How many people had forgotten this mask?
I can zoom now.
I'll need this.
You can set alarms, by the way. This can be used to distract people and lure them around. So note that the gist of this game, by the way, is that there's something called the Crown Killer basically striking at Emily Collins' enemies. And then, of course, we have like the coup basically happen.
I suspect the Crown Killer is connected to Delilah's coup.
And yes, it's all connected basically. Bone charms make their like revisit in this game. And of course the Void. This game wouldn't be anything without the Void. Take our pistol bullets, we need those.
Emily, my daughter, I know that one day you'll be grown up, and I wonder what you'll remember of these years. Will you recall your time as a child with fondness? Or were there too many caretakers?
Samuel Beechworth made this. Wonder what advice he would have about today.
Maybe the precious hours we spent together will shine brighter. Time captured now and then with your mother and with Corvo, who was always close to my heart. I hope the season of rats and plague will be nothing more than a passing shadow on your early memories. A crisis come and past, weathered by your mother and her advisors. You'll sit on the throne someday, and will do well, I hope. It's a tricky life, full of responsibility and peril. It was not your choice to be the daughter of an empress, but I believe you'll rise to the challenge. Stay good-hearted, Emily. Keep drawing and telling stories, and only share your power with those you truly trust.
If only I could talk to Jessamine one more time.
Alright, so yes. The game does steep itself a little bit in like, you know, a bit of like the old, like here's like a map of, like Dunwall, and all like different places you visited like, you know, the Distillery District, the Slaughterhouse Row, I think there's in the DLC the stuff over there, Calvin's Bridge, the Boyle Mansion. But anyhow, let's just get into this game, shall we? A long day in Dunwall. So this is basically like, you know, the first real mission of the game. There's still going to be a little bit of tutorializing and stuff like that, but, you know, nothing really major.
Until I understand this, I have to go into hiding. I should make my way to the docks.
I know there's also portraits in this game just like before, so here's like, you know, Curtis Morgan and the Impossible Child. Get a little bit of coin for that. More books and stuff like that. More coins.
I've got to get out of Dunwall. I don't know that ship, but maybe the captain can help.
Alright, so here we go. To the streets. Now, note that the start here is a little bit different for like Corvo than it is.
Delilah turned Emily to stone. I will find a way to make her flesh again.
It's a little bit different for Corvo than like, you know, Emily's start here, but you know, whatever. Just kill that guy. You get a little control for drop down takedowns. Now, a big part of this game is basically like you know, going through it of like killing lots of stuff or not killing stuff. So
The city is crawling with the Duke's men.
Listen up, I have bad news. Ramsey's missing. Corporal Moore checked the royal quarters, and Corvo Atano has apparently fled the tower. We've got to find him. That's it.
alright, so I want you to place just after the Duke and our new Marvelous make our appearance. Things will happen fast. Do your part, and there's a share of the spoils for you and the others. Turn on me now, and I'll ask the Duke to send his assassins after you, dear old parents. Trust me, the so-called Crunker is the last dinner guest you want in your home.
Got your orders.
So stay ready.
Out and find the fugitive. We're in this with the Duke of Serkonos, sink or swim. There's no way to turn back now.
See, I'll note that, like, you know, everyone who's basically loyal to is dead. Everyone who isn't dead. Pick this guy up and just drop him in here. Now, I know these guys basically walk in preset patterns, so I'm just going to let them come up and then I'll deal with them. There we go, dealt with him. All City Watch personnel assigned to the post in the immediate vicinity around the Dunwall Tower, blah blah, on the anniversary tomorrow. We'll be seeing guests from across the Empire. Most of you are detailed in the interior areas, but there is an unlisted contingent to Karnaca in last minute but important. So basically, like, it's like, you know, the coup basically coming in. This guy's basically getting here already. There's a grenade.
Who opened this door? Oh, maybe the wind or something. Huh? What the? What?
Make distractions. Hide behind crates and stuff. They can basically automatically hide you around stuff, by the way, so... That's all done. I'm noting a couple of these places like go inside to, like, you know, do stuff. I sort of hit that guy from the front, but whatever, he's dead. We'll take the obtuse lady there. So yeah, it's basically very standard gameplay, you know, for the, you know, the game. If you play, like, you know, the original one, then you're probably familiar with how it works. Blah blah. I've lived in Dunwall most of the life, surviving even dread rat plague. Blah blah. lore and all that stuff. I'm not, by the way, you need to find a safe key base to open this up, so... Don't know where exactly to find it, so I'm not going to worry about it. Oh wait, right there. 451. Usually these are fairly close around to where they are. There we go, open this up. I'll use the pistol to show it off a little bit, because I have it. There we go, this got through here. Pick up our grenade, because why not? Might as well come in here next, loot around. I'll note, by the way, in case it's where, like, you know, there's stuff behind stuff. That works out well to skip through it.
Kiala, sorry you missed us. I'll be taking the children away from Dunwall earlier than expected. A few weeks before the upcoming anniversary of Empress Jessamines' death. Things are about to get bad, and I'm not just talking about the Crown Killer. Besides, there's profit to be made bringing new silver miners down south. So arrangements must be made. Ha, for now.
So yeah, some people were in the know, of course. Makes you wonder how such a coup is, like, possible, whatever. These guys patrolling up there, of course.
Attention, Dunwall citizens.
Attention, Dunwall citizens. As of today, Delilah Caldwin is our new empress. All hail Delilah, first of her name.
Further, Corvo Atano is now wanted for treason. Any of you found harboring the Royal Protector will be fined and arrested.
People of Dunwall, stay in your homes. You're advised to stay indoors during this time of unrest.
Yeah, for some reason, like, the citizens are like, what? I actually really don't like how the civilians basically sort of interact in, like, you know, the first mission here. Or basically how anyone reacts.
Hey, who is...
What was that?
You aren't going anywhere.
No! No! Damn it! Yes! Take this! Take it!
I'm not, you're invincible basically when you basically get into fights like that, but whatever. Well, we used a few bullets there, killed the guys.
Citizens of Dunwall, listen up. For the sake of your family, turn over all information concerning Emily Caldwin and Corvo Atano, wanted for murder and treason.
Another safe right here. I'm not bothered if you're playing with, like, Emily. I think right up here is usually where you come down from, so... If you're playing with Emily, basically you'll start, like, this part of the city, a little bit, you know, further ahead. Personally, I think Corvo's actually got the better start here, but whatever. Dumpsters are a thing, of course.
I'm hungry.
Oh, you noticed me there.
I'll be right there. Huh? What? What? Figure. What's all this racket?
He's done. Right through the head. Alright, well. That's done.
Leave me alone. Hey! I don't feel like talking.
So in our building here. Oh no, by the way, the displays are like, you know, sort of like, eh. Alright, let's get up here. Yes, this is like the first mission of Dishonored 2, so to speak.
Special edition. Empress Delilah Caldwin, rightful heir to the throne, has taken power in Dunwall. The usurper, Emily Atano, and the murderous royal protector have been arrested.
Get out of here.
You have until tomorrow to print it.
I never should have listened to your rubbish.
Don't make a pig's ear of this, printer. I'm the one who gave you the scoop on the Crown Killer.
Half of which couldn't be verified. I must have been rat-ass out of my mind to use that name. There's no proof that the murderer has any connection to the crown.
Well, it made a good story. Served a purpose.
Whatever's going on, this coup, it won't last. The people of Bristol are loyal to the Empress, and I'm gonna publish an essay every day for a month to make sure they remember it.
The people of Bristol have a new Empress. And in the morning, they'll have to find a new printer, too.
Only adults would threaten the man who runs a newspaper.
Time to put you out of business, printer.
Help! Guard! Ah! That...
You're not fit for that watch uniform.
That man, part of the Duke's coup, I'm sure of it now. And I saw him talking to Captain Ramsey of the City Watch.
What's done is done, but I had nothing to do with the killings.
I know that. It was irresponsible of me to print the name Crown Killer. I allowed myself to be coerced. Forgive me.
Forgiveness isn't my specialty. Whatever happens next, lay low. But when the time comes, tell people the truth.
You can count on it. I won't ask you what your plans are, but for the sake of Dunwall and for the Empire itself, I hope you succeed.
Yeah, basically like, you know, the printer. Part of the reasons we're in this trouble is because of this guy. I don't think there's really anything to loot here, so that's done. So far I haven't needed to use an elixir, but you know, I probably will soon.
Familiar parts of the city need, I can't help you.
There we go. Alright, so basically clear out more or less the first part here. Except for this building over here, I guess.
Maybe the Crown Killer will come back. Might be wounded. Maybe an easy way for me to earn a medal.
They, of course, don't know what the Crown Killer is, so...
Man, I hope the Crown Killer doesn't come back. Nasty business. Killing Ichabod Boyle like that.
These guys quickly enough.
Ichabod Boyle, torn apart by the Crown Killer. No friend of mine. Maybe he didn't deserve to die like that.
AI got stuck there, but oh well. AI's gonna AI. Put some stuff in here, I guess. And of course the guard would have looted some of this stuff themselves, so... Har. I don't think there's actually anything up here, but you know. I'll look around. Cash registers. Get a little bit of money from. There's a letter from Laura. So currently I have several friends working on several pamphlets aiming at further turning public opinion against like the, you know, people here. You get the sense there's a lot of intrigue going on in this game, but not really.
So it's a coup. The Caldwins have finally fallen. Never thought I'd see the day.
It seems so. And even the legendary Corvo Attano couldn't stop it.
There's money to be made on this, mark my words.
You seem chuffed and happy. What if it all goes to pieces? Sometimes these things end with people like us face down on an executioner's block.
I'll be fine, I assure you. My grandmother turned a profit on the plague, and I'll come out ahead under the Duke of Serkonos and our new Empress.
So, you know, civilians doing their thing. I can't really say I like how like the civilians basically work in this case, because you know in this like you know map there's like lots of dead people all over the place. And if you basically add a new one to the like the pile, they're like, huh?
I told her if you want my advice, just pay the fine and be done with it. No use making trouble.
Well, that's done.
Road is blocked by order of the City Watch.
Locked? What am I supposed to do now?
Not my concern, citizen. I'd advise you to return to your home.
If I can't get through, that's it for my shop. The entire month will be ruined.
Pretty sure I saw someone. You don't want to be out on the streets right now. Move along. Let's have a look. I'll search with you.
I guess they saw me there.
I wonder who that was. Hey, man.
That's Corvo. Let's see what you...
Got that one.
Damn it!
And that one. And yeah, I don't know if the people are talking to each other. There's a bit, big, shit going on.
If there's something you need, I'm the wrong. First the shortage of whale oil, then the murders. Now what's ever going on tonight? I'm thinking we need another evening at the rum club.
It's been hard getting any business done here in Dunwall. That's all about to
Between
change.
some of the guards.
Leave it to the Hatter gang to try to profit from the chaos of this coup.
Can't make it easier for them. That's what I'm saying. We need a network of shops selling contraband, just like they've got down in Serconis. People are getting rich in Colero.
I feel like it.
Even after paying the grant.
And he's dead. Now, no bother if you're injured, you can just, use a health elixir basically to heal up, so pick it up, heal up, same as before. Now, note that he was talking about something called black market, and you'll find out that in this game, there's basically shops that you can basically go to buy stuff and, improve your gear. That's basically the mechanism for, spending your money in this game. You have, black markets, essentially. And essentially they're those regular shops for the most part.
Inspect the riverside drains.
Didn't do that right, but oh well.
You have to understand. I'm going to call for help if you don't go.
There can be warnings by the way of civilians if you do stuff, so.
Whatever you need, I can't help you.
Go down here and deal with this guy, I guess. Ghastly Murders, the Crown Killer. Here's a map of the entire district, so the Black Pony Pub, the Dunwall Courier, City Wash Armories all the way down there, Tower Gate, Boyle Industries office. Bring this guy down. Or to clear docks, basically. They basically don't want anyone around here, so.
Ramsey's been busy. Gotta find a ship.
Take them out. Yeah, you'll notice there's dead bodies everywhere on this map, so. You think the civilians would be a little bit different than how they're acting in this game, but whatever. Get this guy. dead workers, because, you know, ruthless killings all around. That's how this game works. In many ways, I find this game to be very much a copy, you know, a post-copy, basically, of like the, you know, of the first game, in some elements.
Who's that? Hey!
There goes him. Couple of guys on the dock there as well as Zach over there, I guess, so we'll deal with them. Down he goes. Now I'm just knocking these guys out to try and like lower my chaos because I want to basically show off that as well. Down he goes. By the way, rats aren't hostile in this one, so rats are just rats. They just like, you know, appear. I think these guys are supposed to stay stuff, but, you know, I guess I switched out a little bit. They should be commenting about the dreadful whale, but, you know, meh, whatever. I find that sometimes in this game, do you, like, you know, NPCs won't necessarily trigger their dialogues that they're supposed to at the right time, so that sort of happens. There's our contact, by the way. Now, before I basically like talk to her, by the way, I'll note that, like, you know, in this game, you basically have like a stat progress that basically tells you how you're going. So you can like see, like, you know, your total kills, your global kill ratio. So I basically killed about, you know, half or over half of the people here. A global non-lethal ratio of 23%. So, you know, almost like a quarter basically survived through my, like, you know, struggles here.
Lord Atano, you want to hear what I've got to say. I guarantee it.
And she's got the plot here for you, Megan.
Lord Protector.
Alright, so yes, I'm ready.
Let's go.
So note, by the way, you can basically see, like, in your stats here. So right now we have like an overall chaos level of high because, you know, I kill a lot of people. Bias detector is basically 13, detection is 15, so stealth. Now note, by the way, a bigger part of this game is basically like, you know, you're like, you know, your morality compass, I guess, here in this game is what it's called. So basically got, like, you know, your lethal, non-lethal, assault, stealth. Basically I assaulted my way out of here, so that's what we basically did there. But, you know, I guess the idea, like, in this game is like you can either play to like be like stealthy or like not. And I guess it's like more rewarding to be like stealthy, but, you know, you play however you want to, basically, is what the thing is. Special actions I completed, so basically complete all the special actions that are around here. You can play if you want to be like the, you know, the outcome, stuff like that. And then we get into the void, where we basically talk to the outside once more. That's what's going to happen next. So we wake up, we're in, like, you know, a part of a ship, but not really.
Something's not right, but it seems familiar somehow.
So just be like, you know, try and get out.
Remember this endless cold.
And then we're in the void.
Where are you? You might as well show yourself.
Corvo, old friend. Do I even have to say it? You've lost another Empress. I gave you my mark for a reason. I wanted to know what happens when you take an honorable man's life away. When you push his face down in the mud. What will he do, given the chance? And what a sight it was. You gave yourself over to blood and terror. Gave it everything you had. Then you spent 15 years making sure it wouldn't happen again. But now it has. And this time, you know where it leads. Will you do it all again? Where is that good man now?
So, I know that at this point you basically set the outsider's marker, you can reject the offer. You can play without supernatural powers basically if you want to.
No, I never asked for your help, and I don't need it now.
Another surprise. So be it.
Alright, so
Never thought I'd be here again.
you can play supernatural powers, of course, in this game if you really want to, but you know, you don't really have to. It's a thing. Like, you actually made it so, like, you know, you don't have to. But anyhow, so I accidentally hit the wrong button there and jumped back to the desktop instead of to the main menu here. I want to note that with Dishonored 2, that, you know, it's not necessarily a bad game, but one problem I basically sort of had with it was the fact that, like, you know, it just felt very bland. And when I basically say bland, I'll note that in many ways, there's always that argument of, like, you know, video games, for, you know, being like art, and, like, you know, versus being a game. And in case of Dishonored, like the first one, Dishonored was basically a well, like, you know, crafted game that, like, you know, very well meets the definition of being like video games as art. But when I basically played through Dishonored 2, it just felt like more game than anything else. Like, you know, you basically saw at the end there, you had like a stat screen of, like, you know, how you played and, like, you know, the objectives you basically have done. And essentially, like, you know, that's the thing about Dishonored 2 that I think I sort of like dislike the most. Basically, like, there's like the lore and like everything else that sort of plays into like the story of like the, like, you know, the grandeur of, like, you know, the first Dishonored, but it didn't really make its own like sort of story, so to speak. I actually found that, like, you know, with, like, you know, the first Dishonored, I very much enjoyed, like, you know, the targets and how we took them down. We essentially have, like, you know, the, like, you know, corrupt overseer who basically, like, you know, could, like, you know, if we want to, we just kill him, but we could also, like, you know, again, Dishonored himself. Very much like, you know, an ironic justice for, like, you know, what happened to, like, Corvo. We have, like, the Boiled Party, where we basically, like, you know, are basically hunting down, like, the target in, like, you know, the midst of, like, a party. And, you know, you basically jump in there. It's a very different type of, like, mindset, because you're not necessarily right away having to, like, you know, well, you basically saw that Explorer video basically did for Dishonored with that one there. You're basically in the party, you're not necessarily, like, you know, fighting, like, a whole lot of enemies right away. And, you know, you just, like, you know, play it, like, you know, very, very calmly if you want. But in Dishonored 2, I found out it wasn't very much the case. But very much like, you know, every single target basically did, it was just go in, find a target, kill a target. There's, like, a little bit of, like, you know, of, like, nuance, I guess, for, like, a couple of them. Like, you know, there'll basically be, like, a doctor in, like, the second one where you're essentially going to have to, like, you know, deal with her. And, you know, it's very much, like, you know, a sad tale for what happened to her, but that's, like, you know, stand out, like, that sort of, like, you know, puts apart from the rest of the targets. The rest of the targets in this game is basically all, like, you know, this sort of blah. Like, you just go in, you kill them, done. Or, like, you dispatch them somehow, done. Even, like, the final, like, boss, Delia the Empress, she's, like, you know, you go in, you do a little bit of boss fight with her, but if you want to, then it's done. And, you know, that's the thing I really like. I like about Dishonored, but I hate about Dishonored 2. Essentially, like, the targets, like, in the gameplay is just fun in Dishonored 1. And, like, you know, in this one, and it's this game, but there's nothing else to it. But anyhow, that's just my final thoughts on Dishonored 2. I hope you guys enjoyed a quick little video for it. I don't intend to do a series for this one because I don't really like it, so it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed. You know, quick video and take care.